In the front says Custer State Park Resorts, State Game Lodge 12 miles, Legion Lake Resort 18, Bluebell Resort 23. And that's what I found, is that the road you gotta go on inside the Custer Park is called the Wildlife Loop Road, and it starts at that Bluebell entrance. And so yeah, I'm still staying at Well, South Dakota. Of course, I could have booked a hotel here, because eventually I'll be going the same way, like west on 90, right past Rapid City, towards Yellowstone. But I didn't want to bother, so this morning I just got up at 5:30 and I drove like from Wall, South Dakota to that Bell entrance, the beginning of Wildlife Loop Road. It's 150 clicks or 90 miles. And I wanted to be here. I don't want to go on this road before it's daylight, because, you know, I saw on the map that it goes like this. I've never been here, and I don't like driving on these curvy roads in darkness. And so I checked the distance. I think it was like 30 miles or 50 kilometers from Wall to the turn from 90 on these roads. Well, actually, the first part was okay. It was like a 4-lane divided highway. But then now I turn on 36. Highway 36. And you see we're going into the mountains. So I just wanted to show you guys. Like, I was just thinking about this, that when I lived in Ukraine and I was a kid, you know, dreaming the big dreams, like, okay, what do I want to do when I grow up? Like a railroad engineer, fighter pilot, long distance trucker. Those were my dream jobs. I had 3 jobs: fighter pilot, railroad engineer, or, you know, engine driver, and long haul truck driver. And surprisingly, out of these 3, 1 did come true, the driver, right? And then the other one, railroad, came true 50%, because I couldn't be an engineer, but I did become a porter, right? And I worked for almost 3 years on the railroad. And why this happened is because I had those goals written down. Very important. If you're just thinking about something, yeah, one day I want to be an astronaut, that's not a goal, that's a dream. But if you have it written down, then it becomes a goal, and if you focus on it, sooner or later it's going to happen. And when I had it written down, I had an old leather case. I still remember my mom gave me a present, a leather case for my, I forgot, 6th grade or 8th grade, but it was a bit awkward to carry, so I think instead I found like I don't remember, a backpack or something. But anyway, so I stopped using that leather case, and for some reason I started writing some important messages on it, like what I want to be, you know, my goal is. And I remember on that on that leather expensive leather case or portfolio, you know, I wrote when I grow up I want to be, you know, railroad engineer, fighter pilot, or long haul trucker, right? And of course some guys right away is on my bumper, you know, like, you want to fly here? Yeah, go ahead, knock yourself out, right? Again, I never been here before, like, you know, see, the road is very twisty, but I wanted to show you guys, this is like amazing scenery. So Highway 36, and on Google Maps it looks very bad. It looks like this. Yeah, you see that sign? I hated that sign when I was a trucker. Like, look at this. Because that can be dangerous, right? But in a small car, man, this is great over here. Oh, lots of deer. I saw antelope already, and look at this, deer. And I think this is the best. I don't want to come too early because, you know, the problem with getting up too early is when it's still semi-dark, cameras have an issue focusing, and you don't get a good picture unless the animal is like lit up by sunlight, you know. Like ideally you want to see an animal and you want to have the sun behind you, you know, full in his or her face. Otherwise it's not sharp, you know. And that's why I like starting, you know, taking pictures. Or like for example here the sunrise was at 6:30, so 7 to 8 local time. So now it's 7:03. So I'm gonna be at the entrance, that Bell entrance, the start of Wildlife Loop, at 7:38. So which is great. Of course I could have been a bit earlier, but anyway. So you see, like that's what happens with goals when you write them down. And in my case, I didn't write them down on paper. Oh, check this out, turkeys. This guy or girl or something. Why do you... What's the rush? Alright, finally. Hooray! Somebody learned how to pass. Like, what's the... Where are you going? You know? Enjoy the scenery. Crazy four-wheelers. And, oh yeah, so I was thinking that, you know, back then, when I was a kid, thinking, you know, looking out the window at all the grown-up girls going for the dances, I'm thinking, man, will I ever have a girlfriend? Like, will my dreams come true? Like, I never would have thought, if somebody would told me that when I'm 60 years old, I'm driving a pretty nice car, 5.7 V8, modified with a custom exhaust, straight tube headers, you know, beautiful sounding engine, and I'm driving in South Dakota among these parks, and I'm on my way to take pictures of wildlife, and I have 2 fancy cameras. What? So sometimes I think, you know, we don't appreciate what we have, you know. So sometimes it helps just to look back, more deer. Sometimes it just helps to look back to see where you were and what you were hoping to achieve. Yeah, and I wanted to be a long-haul trucker, right? But I never dreamed that I would be a trucker in Canada, in US, and I would own my own truck and my own trailer, and I would be moving heavy construction equipment. Man. So yeah, we don't appreciate what we have. So let's sit down, bow our heads, and say thank you to the fate. But again, it's not gonna happen. If you have a dream, it's a dream. If you want it to be a goal, write it down. And now I don't use paper, of course. Wow, so much deer. I don't use paper, but I have files on my computer. One is like to-do list, and the other one is goals, right? And occasionally I check on my goals file, just, you know, regular text file, and just see what's going on. Am I on the right track? What did I write down a month ago? So are my goals still up to date? Because I think 2 months ago my goal was to become a machinery trader. I wanted to buy and sell machinery, but I talked to this guy who does it, who hired me a couple of times. to move his machinery. Oh, check this out. What is that? Is that a cow or is it a bear? What the? Oh, it's a bison. Okay. Wow, I like this park already. Oh, like that Badlands, yeah, it's cool, but I think this one has more wildlife because of all the trees, and it's much greener. But if this was a bear, I would stop. But I mean, it would be crazy. What if the bear charges me, you know? Charges the Charger, the Dodge Charger. Wow, this is beautiful. So I'm glad I decided to show you guys this drive. And the speed limit is 35. Like it was 45, then became 35. Check this out. Wow. You see they have pull-outs, but it's not the park yet. Custer State Park entrance, 1,500 feet. What? It's already the park here? Oh. Well, I brought some cash. Brought some cash in case they want me to pay. Okay, let's see. Well, I don't see any. Everything is closed. Self-service kiosks, credit cards only. Oh boy, I think I should have stopped. But you know, I'm kind of like, I'm kind of used to that deal in the in Badlands where you pull up to a kiosk, you pay. Like I have no problem with paying, but over here it was not it was not clear what you do, and I didn't want to turn around and go back. But hopefully there'll be I'll be able to pay at the exit. Because the plan is to take this wildlife loop road, because it goes back like this highway that I'm on now, 16A, and that wide loop road does a loop and it comes back to this road. See, wildlife at large. Wow. So yeah, we're inside the park. Cool. Man, I probably should get my cameras ready, because I still have them in the bag over there. And I like that, you know, setup. Like before I had the 18 to 35 millimeter on my Z6 II and 500 on a D850, but then I realized that, you know, I'm here to shoot wildlife, and Z6 II actually is not too good for landscapes because it's a lower resolution camera, only 24 megapixels. Like Z7 would be nice because it's the same resolution as D850s, 47 or 48 megapixels. And so now when I need to do scenery, I'm just putting that 18 to 35 on my D850, which is a DSLR, but it's twice the resolution. So you need a resolution for landscapes. But unless I see something really striking, you know, I don't plan on doing any landscape shots over here. But I just want to do wildlife. Like if I could stop somewhere here, because see, I already saw a bunch of deer and antelope. I gotta have my cameras ready. See, I knew it. That's what, when I'm very familiar with Google, so when I see this, I know. Now imagine driving here in the truck. That would be, I don't think it's passable for a truck because the turns are too sharp. Like even if you stay all the way to the left, like when making the right turn, your trailer wheels will go over there. You know, once it happened to me on some local roads in Ontario. I went into a place and like the turn was like this, and oh, check this out, deer. Oh, I can stop here. Check this out. Not fully off the road, but I think it'll do. So what I did yesterday, okay, this is, we don't need this. Glasses. That's my gloves. Actually, these gloves are super nice, right? I use them in my truck, but now I use them when I fuel. A bit of a mess on there, but it's okay. So now you see I have, if something is close, I grab the 300mm, this one on Z6. If something is far, I grab the 500mm. So quiet here. Okay, let's see, how far are they? This is too far. Wow, pretty good. See this? Thank you. Thank you for posing. Have a good day, sir. See, that's when you need the 500mm. Wow, this is nice. If I knew this, I should have spent more time here. Because I spent 2 days in Badlands. And I think this is better. So I can only guess what Yellowstone will be like. I've never been there. I just saw videos online, but you know, this is much more interesting. For see, lots of turkeys. Too bad I don't have my shotgun over here. Wait a second. Wildlife Loop Road. Maybe I can take it this way, actually. You know what? Wildlife Loop Road. Wildlife Loop Road. Yeah, so I wanted to go to the blue thing and then come back this way, but this way I'm gonna catch. Oh, you see? It already found it.
Continue on Wildlife Loop Road for 20 kilometers.
Oh, perfect. So now it's gonna take me straight to self-service fee station ahead. Okay, so I think here, yeah, here I'll have to pay. Wildlife Loop Road. Because yeah, if I go all the way to that Bell entrance, I lose the daylight, you know. I lose the light. Is this here somewhere? How do we pay? Park entrance license required. Pay fee here. Park entrance license all year temporary 20 valid or 20 bucks. Okay. Hold on. Deposit fee envelope here. Okay, let me go pay because I have a $20 bill, which is perfect. All legit. Did the envelope thing, put in 20 bucks. Beautiful. So now I'm not a criminal anymore because I didn't feel right. All right, so it looks like this loop, it's 30 clicks long, 29 kilometers or roughly 20 miles, and that's it. But it would be cool to come back here maybe later. So if I live in Alberta, well, sure, it's still pretty far. But yeah, tomorrow will be crazy day because I booked a hotel near Yellowstone on the Idaho side, and it's 950 clicks or like 600 miles. So tomorrow I'll have to oh, I see a deer. Yeah, this is beautiful. See, no people. Look at this. They're right on the road. Fucking kidding me? Like they like showing their butt, you know? Like it's so hard to see. They were right here, and that guy's just crossing the street. Okay, hold on. Maybe I'll catch this guy over here. See, as soon as they hear my engine, all right, now we're gonna get some shots, I'm pretty sure. Not good. Gotcha. I wanted her to turn the head. Right in the eye. Cool. Cool. Right away they're like, what? What the heck is that? It's a Hemi 5.7. Oh, more deer over there. But it would be cool to capture something big, you know, like deer. Oh, these are antelopes. Antelopes. What are you guys thinking? You thinking you're in good shape for a picture? And again, of course, like I said, they always point their ass at you, you know? I think this is good. Nice. Antelope. And I learned the difference. I googled the difference between deer and antelope. Of course, antelope, they have this white thing on the back, on their butt. But the major difference is their antlers. That deer have, you know, branched out antlers, like elaborate. Whereas antelope, they just have much shorter antlers with no branches. See, there's a pull out here. Like, it would be cool to see, you know what I like shooting those big birds like hawks and eagles, like something big, like a bear or a wolf, you know. Oh, I had a coyote yesterday, right? I wouldn't have noticed it except that the guard at the booth told me, hey, there's a coyote hunting for prairie dogs. But basically here you have to keep your head on a swivel, because there can be animals anywhere. And it was +2 in the morning, now it's already +13 Celsius. It was like 52, 53 F. Pretty good. A couple of more deers, but they ran away before I could get to them. One was crossing us the road, maybe like 300 meters in front of me. Here, I think with my 60 ton, I'd be stuck, you know, like a curve like this. Okay, see, there's a pull out. So like, whenever I see a pull out, there's a reason why they put a pull out in here. Like, means that there's frequent sightings of wildlife. That's what I think. So whenever I see a pull out like that, I start checking my perimeter. See what I'm missing. Wow, this is gorgeous. But yeah, this sky is a bit too loud for wildlife photography. Of course, I don't want to disturb, right? That's what they always say. Don't disturb the wildlife. And we have 20 kilometers left out of this, which is like 15 miles. Of course, I'm probably scaring all the wildlife away with my exhaust. Yeah, this is a bit funny, right? A wildlife photographer with such a loud car. But I like it, I don't know. That's why I got back into all these you know, big engines, 5.7, 6.4, because I was missing it. I had a Mazda, and then I went to Alberta. I remember I went to Alberta in my truck, and of course over there everybody's driving pickup trucks with super loud exhaust, big pipes like this in the back, and I'm like, man, I miss that Dodge Ram, you know. You see this? That's people. That means that people stop here and they go over there, and they probably take some landscape shots. But the trees don't look good. You see, half of the trees are dry, so I'm not sure if this would look very good. But I could put on my 18 to 35. Maybe do a shot from here, but then that hill over there, it's all bare, no trees. But this is so quiet here. But no wildlife. No wildlife that I can see. All right, let's keep trucking. Hopefully I will see something before the end of this loop road. I mean, more animals. Because yeah, it started good. It's like fishing, right? Or hunting. You get something and then there's nothing for 2 hours. You see another pull out here. So again, there's a reason they do this. No, this turn definitely not good in a large truck, because it's more than 90 degrees and it's narrow, so the trailer wheels will be, I don't know why why I keep thinking about this, you know, when I come to, it's just old habit. I remember talking about this with my instructor, you know, like when I was when I failed 2 times. I failed the test 2 times before I got my AZ or AZ, you know, CDL in Canada. And once I failed backing, of course, because nobody knows how to back when you jump from a car into a big truck. And then the other one, she didn't like it. My wheels slightly touched the line between the lanes, or you're straddling the lane. and there was something else. But basically, yeah, I was not sure what I was doing, you know, because I had no experience. And but the third time finally I passed. But third time I took more. Before the third time I took more classes, because that job I found, right? I found a job at Challenger before I got the license. So I went to them and I said, "Do you care what school I go to? Driving school?" They said, "No, as long as you get your driver's license, we're gonna retrain you. Basically, forget everything you learned. We'll train you for 2 weeks with our instructors." And so I found the cheapest school. I went there, failed. Took more classes, failed. Second time, right? Then I said, okay, this time I'm gonna spend more money before I go for the third time. And I found, like, I think it was like a Russian school where the guy promised that we'll all pass. Okay, I think it was like $50 an hour Canadian. And I remember I was like in awe. I could not understand how this is possible. So basically, the guy was driving, because we were just getting to our training route. So he was driving the truck. I think it was an old Kenworth, like 1998 Kenworth, you know, like a classic truck. No e-logs, no computers. And we were just pulling an empty driver and trailer. And we come to a intersection where we have to turn, and the guy's behind the wheel. And instinctively he knows where to position the truck. You know, let's say we're making a right turn, he knows how far left he has to go in order not to let the wheels of the trailer run over the curb or hit the you know, the post or something. And I'm like, how do you know that? How do you know how sharp the turn is, and how do you know where to position your truck? Like, to me that was like the utmost skill, you know. You look at the turn, you know exactly where you have to be, you know. And the guy says, well, you'll have it too, it comes with experience. And sure enough, after a couple of years I was the same. I'm coming to an intersection, I know if I can make it or I cannot make it. Like this one would be impossible to make with, let's say, a 4-axle trailer. And so I still have that habit, you know, like, even, well, I just quit trucking less than a month ago, right? And so you come to an intersection and your brain starts processing all the data. Okay, where the curb is, all right, is it 90 degrees, is it more than 90, less than 90? Okay, do we have an extra lane where I can block and position myself like in the middle between 2 lanes? So yeah, on the one hand, it's kind of like sad, you know, to lose that, because if I don't drive a truck, I'm gonna lose that skill, right? And then, let's say 5 years down the road, if I keep my AZ or CDL, I get into a truck, I'll be like a rookie again, because I don't think the skill will last very long. But I don't know, I think I just got tired of, you know, I've been everywhere except Alaska and those very northern territories in Canada. I've been all over US, all over Canada. So it's been a great job in the sense that it allowed me to see both countries, right? It allowed me to see Canada and US, you know. Again, as a boy, as a kid growing up in Ukraine, which back then was part of Soviet Union, I had no idea that I would have this chance, thanks to, one, my knowledge of English, right? Otherwise I wouldn't be able to immigrate to Canada. And you need English in order to drive a truck in the US and Canada. There's been an incident where a Quebec guy who only spoke French tried to cross the border, and he couldn't answer simple questions of the American customs officer, and they turned him back. They said, you need to know at least, you have to have at least a basic level of English, because you need to know, you need to be able to communicate with law enforcement and customs officers. If you cannot, you know, talk, we're sorry, just get your ass back into Canada. And so that's why I got lucky with this, because I fell in love with English language when I was like 15 years old, right? And I was really focused, and I learned, as you can see, I speak pretty good. And then of course the desire to be a truck driver, As I said, it was one of those goals I wrote down on my leather case. One of the 3, long haul trucker, right? Okay, now these guys are on this road. I don't know what they're doing there. Wildlife Station Visitor Center. Where do we go? I think we keep going straight. Yeah, Wildlife Loop is this way. Wildlife Station Visitor Center. Yeah, Wildlife Loop this way. So now we're out of the mountains, lots of fields, and then we're gonna be turning right and going somewhere like that way towards that highway 87 that I came from. Look at this guy. That's nice parking on the left side of the road. Oh, antelopes. Go take a picture. And he is looking right at me. And the one with no horns is looking at me kind of like, are you done? Can I get back to eating grass? I got him right in the eye. Hold on, let's see. Did I got the... Yep, right on the eye. But it doesn't seem to be super sharp. No, actually, it's okay. Maybe let me see if they will allow me to come close and use my 300mm. Because this was good. So now I don't want to start my engine because I'm gonna spook him, and then this guy will be angry at me. See, I cannot put it in neutral unless I start the engine. So there's 3 of them over there. One with horns, like the adult, and then there's two kids, like no horns. And actually the guy was happy because when I started the engine, they perked up. They raised their heads because it was before they were eating the grass. And I saw the guy right away just started shooting because they were turning their heads towards the sound, you know? So it would be a much more interesting picture than when they're just looking down, right? So that was pretty cool. Like, I like these antelopes, they look very cute. Now what do I do now? There's a bison right in the middle of the road. Okay, it's moving, going left towards the grass. Because yeah, these things are huge, you know. I don't want to spook him. It should be okay. They should be used to. As soon as he heard my engine, he started going back to the road. Then I see more of them over there. To wait. I don't want to take pictures because right behind him there's a fence. And one rule in photography is you gotta always be aware of the background. It's walking away. That's good, because I'm guessing he wanted to see if I was a threat or something. But then over there I see they're crossing the road there just because there's no fencing, right? And I'm thinking, am I on the right road? But no, Google Maps shows this is the correct way. It should start turning that way over there. Like, it's gonna go like that, and we're gonna make our way that way. I think I can go. Please don't eat me. calves. Because that can be really dangerous, you know, when you have calves, you know, like small cows, that these things might think that you're there to hurt them or something, right? All right, so they saw the truck. There's a guy coming from the opposite direction. But actually it would be cool to take that picture, because like I saw these big bisons, right? They're not much to look at, but the small ones will be cool to photograph. You know what? I'm just gonna grab my 300mm. No, forget it. I want to get out of here. We should be turning a very sharp turn this way. Yeah, you see? Goes this way. It should be another turn. To take a picture of that magpie, but it disappeared. Now there's the party favorite, prairie dogs. There was a lot of these in Badlands. They had a place called Prairie Dog Town. Actually, same as here. There's like hundreds of them. You see they're standing over there in the grass. Hundreds and hundreds. Some kind of a stop in here. But I don't see any. I just see prairie dogs, and I think I see some buffalo in the distance over there. I think I could hear one prairie dog saying, "Hey, I like the sound of that Hemi." Like some animals, you know, they do have an appreciation for nice muscle car. Slowing down. What do we have here? Oh wow, we have bisons in the middle of the road. So let's see how these guys deal with this. think eventually they should move, right? Okay, I see that baby cow again here. It would be cool to take a picture of that guy. Gotcha. I wanted to take a picture of the small. It looks like a cow, actually. This is cool. I still cannot believe this. People are taking pictures with a cell phone. You know, you have maybe once in a lifetime opportunity to capture, you know, wildlife, and you don't even have like a, I don't know, Canon T7i or Nikon, what is it? What's the last one? 7500. They're not that expensive, right? And they all hold their phones like this, you know. They don't even turn their phones like this. They just shoot a picture like this, you know. Okay, can we keep going there? What's going on? I'm guessing this guy, there's bison close to him on the right side there. See, that's the little cow. Probably just a few months old. So we're 12 kilometers away from that, where this road ends. Wildlife Loop Road. Oh, now I see antelopes. They're just climbing the hill over there on the right. very top, 3 in the middle, 4 and 2 at the bottom, 6. From the sound of my exhaust. I shut off my camera. He's too close. Interesting spot, and it says speed limit 10 miles an hour. Check this out. Yeah, this definitely would not work in a 53-foot trailer. Wow, look at this. Man. It's 180 degrees, couple of 180-degree turns. Now here probably would be a good spot for a scenic shot because it shows you, but I cannot stop here. Oh wow, this would be gorgeous because there's a road there. Oh man, I want to take this. I want to take this picture. Hold on. The road I just came on, I can use my wow. Wow, that looks pretty good. Yeah, of course I'm using my 300 millimeters, so it magnifies everything, but let's see if we can find, of course the sun is not, but look at this. That's why it's good to have the hood on. Yeah, I like how the road goes like this and then there's hills in there. See, that's pretty good. Yeah, a couple of good shots. I like this camera, this Nikon 6Z2. It's just a pleasure to use, you know. It's a nice combo. Budget mirrorless, because it's not a Z7 or Z9, right? But still it's second generation Z6 II. And then the trusted and proven DSLR with high resolution. Actually, I wanted to buy a Z9 because it was cheaper than D6, right? I originally wanted D6, but D6, like, man, $6,800 US, and it's only 20 megapixels, so it's not good for landscapes. Well, it's okay, but it would be even worse than Z6 with 24 megapixels, right? So that's strictly for wildlife. Whereas D850, actually, I was watching this guy, Steve, my favorite photography guy who does wildlife photography, and he travels all over the world, like Africa, Costa Rica. That's how I learned about Costa Rica, by the way, because he was doing workshops in there. Like, I might go one day, but I'll definitely not go during the wet season. So now that they have this, I mean, I know that it's best to go there between December and April, so maybe I'll go next year. But yeah, he was saying he was doing a review of that super expensive D6, and I think he was comparing D6 and D850, and he says, yeah, D6 is great for high speed, you know, wildlife photography, where you really need that 14 shots a second, and also D6 is super great in low light because it has actually low resolution, and when you have low resolution, it absorbs much more light than, let's say, D850 with 47 megapixels. So between two cameras, let's say D850 and D6, if you want to shoot like an animal somewhere in the shade, you know, D6 would be better. But this guy Steve says, I still believe that for an average guy that does both landscapes and wildlife and different types of wildlife, not necessarily fast moving, like you see, like quite often, like this deer or antelope, they're just posing for you, so you don't need a fast camera, right? So he was saying that I believe that for most people in the Nikon world, D850 is the best all-around camera. You know, you can still do 9 shots a second if you want to, if you add the grip, but honestly, I don't need that. I just shoot like 3, maybe 5 shots a second, because I don't want to end up with hundreds of shots of the same image on the memory card, and then you just have to delete half of them, you know. Yeah, this is quite a magical place. So if you guys, if you've never been here, check it out. So Custer State Park, Wildlife Loop Road. Highly recommended, especially with the family. You know, bring kids along. They're gonna freak out when they see the bisons, and they'll stop asking you, are we there yet? Guaranteed. already starting to see fall colors. Oh, actually, this is great. So I hope I can do some nice landscapes in Yellowstone, because of course over there it's rocks and mountains and trees. But this is my element, kind of like, you know, as a Capricorn, I like this clean air, mountains, trees. I don't like water. I can live without lakes and rivers. But it's funny, I haven't seen a single bear or a wolf or a fox or any of the big birds like hawks or eagles. But it's still pretty cool. Do not feed wildlife. View from a distance. Okay, so there's something there. Like, when, you know, that's a good indicator. Whenever you see a stopped car, that means there's some kind of a wildlife over there, and people stop to take some snapshots with their cell phones. Well, I'm guessing it's some kind of either deer or antelope or something. Why did they stop here? I don't see anything. The guy's looking to the right. Oh, it's these stupid prairie dogs. Oh, I think I saw either a wolf or a fox, but it was like 300 meters, running very fast across the road. Yeah, it's prairie dogs. That's what they stop for. Come on, you can see them everywhere. You don't have to pay 20 bucks for this. Man, so there was something here. So if it runs very fast, then I know that it's one of those things, because deer or antelope, they don't care, they walk slowly, right? But it was something big. I think it was a wolf or maybe coyote. See, this guy stopped. Probably saw it. Son of a gun. And it was coming from this way, so that means that if it was running, right, there was a chance to capture it over here, you know, on the open space. But then it just shot across the freeway. I mean highway, too far from me. Yeah, I'd really love to capture one of those things, because they're so evasive, you know, they're so cautious. Okay, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of an exit from the park, because I'm right at the Bell entrance, or exit in my case. Do I have enough gas to get back to Wall, South Dakota? Range 400 clicks. That is good. So I just stopped because they have washrooms in here, or bathrooms. I'm just gonna show you. They have this cute building. I like this kind of, you know, this style. I'd love to have a house like that, but where do you get the money? That's a little building. That's the I think I need this. Yeah, I need this. Bluebell Lodge, 1 mile. This is Bluebell entrance, but this is Needles Highway. I don't want to go on Needles Highway. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to go, so I'm going north on this. I'm going north on this 87. But it's gonna be cool to see here because it's a windy road. But then I wanna go back on that 36 that I came from, because this wildlife loop, right, it connects with 36 over there. But I don't want to go 87. That's like really just a white line. And they say, yeah, it's a good scenery there, but it's a crazy narrow. They have some very super narrow tunnels. And I just called my hotel because originally I booked my hotel for 2 nights only in a queen size double bed room. But then the third night, from today till tomorrow, I booked for some reason king size, just 1 bed, like a more premium room, but it was the same price. And I left before the office opened, and so I just called them. I said, can I stay in the same room, because I still have stuff in there? And she said, I said, I don't care about, you know, king size bed. And she says, okay, that's fine. Just, she says, come down and to reprogram your keys, because of course my keys they're not gonna work after like 11 o'clock today. They'll stop working, and that's why I called now, because now it's almost 9 local time. Okay, so this is Bluebell. Okay, I think they have like a restaurant in here somewhere. Well, it's like a lodge. Oh yeah, they have a general store in here. Food, gifts, groceries, and look at this. They have all these traditional wagons. All right. But basically here we're driving in. Well, they have cabins over there. Yeah, so this is the lodge. And actually I tried to book something here, but it's way too expensive and everything is booked. That's why I stopped over there. Wall, South Dakota. So you have access to Badlands. You have access, of course, almost 2 hours of driving, well, 90 miles to Custer. So